Who's that? Is it you, Edmund?
Yes.
Ow! Turn out that light before you come in. I'm glad you've come, lad. I've been damn lonely. You're a fine one to run away and leave me to sit alone here all night when you know that... I told you to turn out that light. We're not giving a ball. There's no reason to have the house ablaze with electricity this time of night, burning up money.
Blaze of electricity, it's one bulb. Hell, everyone leaves a light on in the hall till they go to bed. Ow. I damn near busted my knee on that hat stand.
The light from here shows in the hall. You can see your way well enough if you were sober.
If I was sober, oh, I like that.
I don't give a damn what other people do. If they want to be wasteful fools for the sake of show, let them be.
It's one bulb. Christ, don't be such a cheapskate. I've proved by figures if you left the light bulb on all night, it wouldn't be as much as one drink.
To hell with your figures. The proof is in the bills I have to pay.
Yes, facts don't mean a thing, do they? But you want to believe that's the only truth. Shakespeare was an Irish Catholic, for example.
So he was. The proof is in his plays.
Well, he wasn't. There's no proof of it in his plays. Except to you. Duke of Wellington is another good Irish Catholic.
I never said he was a good one. Look, I'm not going to argue with you. I told you to turn out that light in the hall.
I hear you. As far as I'm concerned, it stays on.
None of your damned insolence. Are you going to obey me or not?
Not. You want to be a crazy miser, you put it out yourself.
You listen to me. I put up with a lot from you because of the mad things you've done at times. I thought you weren't quite right in the head. I've excused you and never raised a hand to you, but there's a straw that breaks the camel's back. Now, you'll obey me and put out that light, or basically where I'll give you a thrashing little... Forgive me, lad. I forgot. You shouldn't goad me into losing my temper.
Oh, forget it, Papa. I apologize, too. I had no right being nasty about nothing. I am a bit soused, I guess. I'll put out the damn light.
No, stay where you are. Let it burn. We'll have them all and let them burn to hell with it. The poor house is the end of the road. And it might as well be sooner as later.
It's a grand curtain. Oh, you're a wonder, Papa.
That's right. Laugh at the old fool, the poor old ham. But the final curtain will be in the poor house just the same. And that's not comedy. Ah, well, let's not argue. You got brains in that head of yours, though you do your best to deny them. You'll live to learn the value of a dollar. You're not like your damn tramp of a brother. I've lost all hope he'll ever change. Where is he, by the way?
How would I know?
I thought you went back uptown to meet him.
I walked out to the beach. I haven't seen him since this afternoon.
If you split the money I gave you
Sure
with
I
him...
did.
Like...
He's always staked me when he had anything.
Then it doesn't take a soothsayer to tell he's probably in the whorehouse.
Well, what of it if he is? Why not?
Why not? Why not indeed? It's a fit place for him. If he's ever had a loftier dream than whores and whiskey, he's never shown it.
Papa, you're going to start that stuff again. I'll be there.
All right. I'll stop. God knows I don't like the subject either. Will you join me in a drink, lad?
Now you're talking.
I'm wrong to treat you. You've had enough already.
Enough is not as good as a feast.
Oh, it's too much in your condition.
No. Forget my condition. Here's how.
Drink hearty. If you walked all the way to the beach, it must be damp and chilled.
No. I dropped in at the inn on the way out and back.
It's not the night I'd pick for a long walk.
Oh, I love the fog. That's what I needed.
You should have more sense.
What the hell with sense? We're all crazy. What do we want with sense? They are not long, the weeping and the laughter, love and desire and hate. I think they have no portion in us after we pass the gate. They are not long the days of wine and roses. Out of a misty dream, our path emerges for a while, closes within a dream. Fog is where I wanted to be. Halfway down the path, you can't see this house. Everything looked and sounded unreal. Nothing was what it is. That's what I wanted. To be alone with myself in another world. Where the truth is untrue and life can hide from itself. Out beyond the harbor where the road runs along the beach, I even lost the feeling I was on land. Fog and the sea, they seemed part of each other. It was like walking on the bottom of the sea. As if I'd drowned long ago. As if I was a ghost belonging to the fog. Fog was a ghost of the sea. Damn peaceful being nothing more than a ghost within a ghost. Stop looking at me as if I've gone nutty. Talking sense. And who wants to see life as it is if they can help it?
You got a poet in you, but it's a damn morbid one. Oh, devil take your pessimism. I feel low-spirited enough. Why can't you remember your Shakespeare and forget the third-raters? You'll find whatever you want to say in him and everything else that's worth saying. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep.
It's fine. It's beautiful. I wasn't trying to say that. We are such stuff as manure is made on.
Oh,
so let's
God,
drink
keep
up
that
and forget it.
sentiment to
Nothing's
yourself. I was wrong to give you that drink.
Yes. Did pack a wallop all right, huh? And you too. Even if you've never missed a performance. Well, what's wrong with being drunk, huh? It's what we're after, isn't it? And let's not kid each other, Papa, not tonight. We know what we're trying to forget. But let's not talk about that. It's no use now.
No. All we can do is be resigned. Again.
Or be so drunk you can forget. Be always drunken. Nothing else matters. That is the only question. If you would not feel the horrible burden of time weighing on your shoulders, crushing you to the earth, be drunken continually. Drunken with what? With wine, with poetry, or with virtue, as you will, but be drunken.
I wouldn't worry about the virtue part of it, I were you. Oh, it's morbid nonsense. What little truth there is in it, you'll find nobly said in Shakespeare. But you recited it well, lad. Who wrote it?
Baudelaire.
Never heard of him. Hey, where do you get your taste in authors? The damn library of yours? Schopenhauer, Nietzsche, Ibsen, atheists, fools, and madmen. And your poets is Baudelaire, Oscar Wilde, Whitman Poe, whoremongers, and degenerates. And I got 3 good sets of Shakespeare right there.
And you can't accuse me of not knowing Shakespeare. Didn't I win $5 from you once? And you bet me I couldn't learn a leading part of his in a week, as you used to do in stock in the old days. I learned Macbeth, recited it, letter perfect, with you giving me the cues.
That's right. So you did. It was a terrible ordeal, I remember hearing you murder the lines. I kept wishing I'd paid over the bet without making you prove it.
Did you
hear? She's moving around. I was hoping she'd gone to bed.
Let's forget it. How about another drink? When did Mama go to bed?
Right after you left. She wouldn't have any dinner. What made you run away?
Nothing. Here's how.
Thank Hardy. She's moving around a lot. I hope to God she doesn't come down.
Yes. She'll be nothing more than a ghost haunting the past by this time. Back before I was born.
Doesn't she do the same thing to me? Back before she ever knew me. You think the only happy days she's ever known in her life were in her father's home or in the convent praying and playing the piano. As I've told you before, lad, you gotta take her memories with a grain of salt. Her wonderful home was ordinary enough. And her father wasn't the great, generous, noble Irish gentleman she makes out. Oh, he's a nice enough man. Good company, good talker. I liked him, and he liked me. And he was prosperous enough, too, in that wholesale grocery business of his. Just an able man, but he had his weakness. She condemns my drinking, but she forgets his. It's true, he never touched a drop until he was 40. Well, after that, he made up for lost time. Well, it finished him quick. That and the consumption.
We don't seem able to avoid unpleasant topics, do we?
No. What do you say to a game or two at casino, lad?
All right.
We can't lock up and go to bed till Jamie comes home in the last trolley, which I hope he won't. And anyway, I don't want to go upstairs until she's asleep.
Neither do I.
No, as I was saying, you gotta take her tales of the past with a grain of salt. The piano playing and her dream of becoming a concert pianist, that was put into her head by the nuns flattering her. She was their pet. They loved her for being so devout. And they were innocent women anyway when it comes to the world.
When do you deal if we're gonna play?
Oh, yeah. And the idea that she might become a nun. Oh, God. That was the worst. Your mother was one of the prettiest girls you could ever see. She knew it, too. She was a bit of a rogue and a coquette, God bless her, behind all the shyness and the blushes. She was never meant to renounce the world. She was bursting with health and high spirits and the love of loving.
For God's sake, Papa, why don't you pick up your hand?
Yeah, let's see, what do I have here? Oh. Listen.
She's coming downstairs.
We'll play our game. Pretend not to notice her. She'll soon go upstairs again.
I don't see her. She must have started down and then turned back.
Thank God.
Yes. Must be pretty horrible to see her the way she must be now. You know, hardest thing to take? This blank wall she builds around herself. It's more like a bank of fog. She hides and loses herself. It's deliberately. That's the hell of it. You know something in her does it deliberately. Get beyond our reach. Be rid of us. Forget we're alive. It's almost as if in spite of loving us, she hated us.
No, lad. That's not her, it's that damn
Yeah,
poison.
well, she takes it to get that effect. At least I know she did this time. It's my plate, isn't it? Here.
She's been terribly frightened about your illness. Don't be too hard on her, lad. Remember, she's not responsible. Once that
I know
poison
damn well
gets a
she's
hold
not
of
to
you-
blame. You are. If you spent money on a decent doctor when she was so sick after I was born, she'd never have known morphine existed. Instead, you put her in the hands of a hotel quack. Wouldn't admit his ignorance. Took the easy way out. Not giving a damn what happened to her afterwards. And all because his fee was cheap.
Be quiet. How dare you talk about something you know nothing about? Look, you gotta try to see it from my side, too, lad. How did I know he was that kind of a doctor? He had a good reputation.
Among the souses in the hotel bar, I suppose.
That's a lie. I asked the proprietor to recommend the best.
Yeah, at the same time crying poorhouse and making a plain you wanted a cheap one. I know your system. Yeah. By God, I have to after this afternoon.
What about
Never
this
mind now.
afternoon?
We're talking about Mama. I'm saying no matter how you excuse yourself, you know damn well your stinginess is to blame.
And I'm
after
saying
you
you're a
found out
liar.
she
You
made a
just shut-
morphine addict. Why don't you send her on a cure then? Huh? At the start, when she still had a chance. No, that would have meant spending some money. But you told her all she had to do was use a little willpower.
Haven't I spent thousands and thousands on cures? What good have they done as a way she's always started again?
Because you've never given her anything that would help her want to stay off it. I mean, no home. Except for this summer dump in a place that she hates, and you refused even to spend money to make this look decent. Well, you keep buying more property, playing sucker for every con man with a gold mine or a silver mine or any kind of get-rich-quick swindle. You've dragged her around on the road season after season on one-night stands with no one she could talk to, waiting night after night in dirty hotel rooms for you to come back with a bun on after the bars closed. Christ! Is it any wonder she didn't want to be cured? Jesus, Papa, when I think of it, I hate your guts!
Edmund! How dare you talk to your father like that, you insolent young cub, after all I've done for you?
Yeah, we'll come to that, what you're doing for me.
Will you stop repeating your mother's crazy accusations? Well, she never makes it unless it's the poison talking. I never dragged her on the road against her will. Naturally, I wanted her with me because I loved her, and she came with me because she loved me, and that's the truth. No matter what she says when she's not herself. And she needn't have been lonely. She always had the members of my company to talk to if she'd wanted to. She had the children to, and I insisted. In spite of the expense on having a nurse to travel with her.
Yes, your one generosity. And that because you were jealous of her paying too much attention to us. You wanted us out of your way.
Or for that matter, if you were to judge her by what she says when she's not in her right mind, if you'd never been born, she'd have never started it.
Sure, Papa, I know that's what she feels.
No, lad. She loves you as dearly as a mother ever loved a son. I only said that because you put me in such a goddamn rage. Raking up the past and saying you hate me.
Well, I didn't mean it, Papa. Oh, unlike Mama. Can't help liking you. In spite of everything.
Yeah, I might say the same thing about you. You're no great shakes as a son. It's a case of a poor thing, but mine own. What happened to our game? Whose play is it?
Yours, I guess.
You mustn't be too downhearted, lad, by the bad news you had today. Both the doctors said that if you obey orders in this place you're going to, you'll be cured in 6 months to a year at most.
Don't kid me. You don't believe that?
Well, of course I believe it. Why shouldn't I win both Hardy and the
I
specialist?
think I'm gonna die.
That's a lie. You're crazy.
So why waste money? That's why you're sending me to the state farm.
What state farm? It's the Hilltown Sanatorium. That's all I know. Both the doctors said it was the best place for you.
For the money. That is for nothing, or practically nothing. Well, don't lie, Papa. You know damn well the Hilltown Sanatorium is a state institution. I mean, Jamie suspected you cried poorhouse to Hardy. He wormed the truth out of him.
That drunken loafer, I'll kick him out into the gutter. He's poisoned your mind against me ever since you were old enough
You
to
can't
listen.
deny it's the truth about the state farm, can
Well,
you?
it's not true the way you look at it. What if it is run by the state? That's nothing against it. The state has money to make a better place than any private sanatorium. And why shouldn't I take advantage of it? It's my right, and yours. We're residents. I'm a property owner. I help to support it. God knows I'm taxed to death.
It's a property valued at $250,000.
That's lies.
Hardy
It's all
and the
mortgage.
specialists know what you're worth. I wonder what they thought when they heard you moaning poorhouse and showing you wanted to wish me on a charity.
That's a lie. All I told them was I couldn't afford any millionaire sanatorium, and that because I was land poor, and that's the
Yeah, and
truth.
then you went to the club and you met McGuire and let him stick you with another bum piece of property.
Ah,
Don't
yeah.
lie about it. We met McGuire in the hotel bar after he left
he's
you.
a liar.
Don't lie about it! God, Papa. Ever since I went to sea and was on my own and found out what hard work for little pay was and what it felt like to be broke and starve and camp out on park benches because I had no place to sleep. I mean, I've tried to be fair to you because I knew what you'd been up against as a kid. I've tried to make allowances. God knows you gotta make allowances in this damn family or go nuts. And I've tried to make allowances for myself when I remember all the rotten stuff I've pulled. And I've tried to feel like, Mama, that you can't help being what you are where money is concerned, but God almighty, this last son of yours is too much. It makes me want to puke. And not because of the rotten way you're treating me. I mean, to hell with that. I've treated you rottenly in my own way more than once. But to think, when it's a question of your own son having consumption, you can show yourself up in front of the whole town as such a stinking old tightwad. I mean, don't you know Hardy will talk? The whole damn town will know. Jesus, Papa, don't you have any pride or shame? And don't think I'll let you get away with it. I'm not going to any damn state farm to save you a few lousy bucks to my poor bum property with you stinking old miser.
Be quiet. Don't say that to me. You're drunk, I won't mind you. Stop coughing, lad. You got yourself worked up over nothing. Who said you had to go to this Hilltown place? You can go any place you like. I don't care what it costs. All I care is to have you get well. Just don't call me a stinking old miser because I don't want those doctors to think I'm some goddamn millionaire they can swindle. You look weak, lad. You'd better have a bracer. Whose play is it? A stinking old miser. Well, maybe you're right. Maybe I can't help being. Although all my life, ever since I had anything, I've thrown money over the bar to buy drinks for everyone in the house. Loaned money to sponges. I knew would never pay it back. But of course, that was in barrooms when I was full of whiskey. But I can't think that way when I'm sober in my home. And it was at home I first learned the value of $1 and the fear of the poorhouse. And I've never been able to believe in my luck since. I've always feared it would change. And everything I had would be taken away from me. The more property you own, the safer you think you are. Now, that may not be logical. But it's the way I have to feel. Banks fail. Your money's gone. Still, you think you can keep land beneath your feet. You said you realized what I was up against as a boy. The hell you do. How could you? You had everything. Nurses, schools, college, though you didn't stay there. You've had food and clothing. When I was 10 years old, my father deserted my mother and went back to Ireland to die, which he did soon enough. And I hope to God he's roasting in hell. My mother was left a stranger in a strange land with 4 small children. Myself, a sister a little older and 2 younger than me. My 2 older brothers had moved to other parts. They couldn't help. They were hard put to it to keep themselves alive. And there was no damned romance in our poverty. Twice, we were evicted from a miserable hovel we called home. My mother's few sticks of furniture thrown out into the streets, and my mother's and sister's crying. I cried too. Though I tried hard not to, because I was the man of the family. At 10 years old. There was no more school for me. I worked 12 hours a day in a machine shop learning how to make files, a dirty barn of a place. Where the rain dripped through the roof, where you roasted in summer where there's no stoves, so that in winter your hands got numb with cold, where the only light came through 2 small, filthy windows, so that on gray days I sat bent over with my eyes almost touching the files in order to see. And you talk of work. And what do you think I got for that, 50 cents a week. That's the truth. 50 cents a week. And my poor mother washed and scrubbed for the Yanks by day. My older sister sewed. My 2 younger stayed at home to keep the house. We never had clothes enough to wear or enough food to eat. Well, I remember one Thanksgiving, or maybe it was Christmas. A Yank in whose house my mother had been scrubbing gave her $1 extra for a present. And on the way home, she spent it all on food. And I can remember her hugging and kissing us and saying with tears of joy running down her tired face, "Glory be to God. For once in our lives, we'll have enough for each of us." She was a fine, brave, sweet woman. There was never a braver or a finer.
Yes, she must have been.
And her one fear was that she'd get sick and old and have to die in the poorhouse. And it was in those days I learned to be a miser. $1 was worth so much then. And once you've learned the lesson, it's hard to unlearn it. You have to look for bargains now. If I took this State Farm place for a good bargain, you must forgive me, Edmund. The doctors did say it was a good place. You must believe that, Edmund. And I swear I never meant for you to go there if you didn't want to. You can go. Choose any place you like. Never mind what it costs. Any place I can afford. Any place you like. Within reason.
It doesn't matter a damn now anyway. Let's forget it. How about our game? Whose play is it?
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe life overdid the lesson for me and made $1 worth too much. And the time came when that mistake ruined my career as a fine actor. I've never admitted this to anyone before, lad. But tonight I'm so heartsick, I feel at the end of everything. And what's the use of fake pride and pretense? That goddamn play I bought for a song and made such a success in, such a great money success, it ruined me with its promise of an easy fortune. And by the time I woke up to the fact that I'd become a slave to the damn thing and did try other plays, it was too late. They'd identified me with that one part and didn't want to see me in anything else. And they were right. I'd lost the great talent I had through years of easy repetition, never learning a new part, never really working hard. $35,000 to $40,000 net profit a season, like snapping your fingers. The temptation was too great. Yet, before I bought the damn thing, I was considered to be one of the 3 or 4 young actors with the greatest artistic promise in America. I'd worked like hell. Left a good job in a machine shop to take supers parts because I loved the theater. I was wild with ambition. Read all the plays ever written, studied Shakespeare as you'd study the Bible, educated myself, got rid of an Irish brogue you could have cut with a knife. And I loved Shakespeare. I would have acted in any of his plays for nothing, just for the joy of being alive in his great poetry. And I acted well in him, too. I felt inspired by him. I could have been a great Shakespearean actor if I'd kept on. I know that. In 1874, when Edwin Booth came to the theater in Chicago where I was leading man, I played Brutus to his Cassius one night, Cassius to his Brutus the next, Othello to his Iago, and so on. Well, the first night I played Othello, he said to the manager, "That young man is playing Othello better than I ever did." That from Booth, the greatest actor of his day, or any other. And it was true. And I was only 27 years old. And when I look back on it now, that was the high spot of my career. I had life where I wanted it, and for a time after went on upward with ambition. I married your mother. Ask her what I was like in those days. Her love was an added incentive to my ambition. And a few years later, my good bad luck made me find the big moneymaker. Well, it wasn't that at first. It was just a great romantic part. I knew I could play better than anyone. But it was a great box office success from the start. And then life had me where it wanted me. $35,000 to $40,000 net profit a season. A fortune in those days. Even in these. What the hell was it, I wonder, I wanted to buy that was worth... Oh, well, it's a late day for regrets. My play, isn't it?
I'm glad you told me this, Papa. I know you a lot better now.
Maybe I shouldn't have told you. Maybe you'll only feel more contempt for me. And it's a poor way to convince you of the value of $1. You know, the glare from those extra lights hurts my eyes. You don't mind if I turn them out, do you? We don't need them, and there's no point in making the electric company rich.
No. Sure. Turn them out.
No. I don't know what the hell it was I wanted to buy. On my solemn oath, Edmund, I'd gladly have no home but the poorhouse in my old age. If I could look back now on having been the fine artist I might have been. What the devil are you laughing at?
Not at you, Papa. At life. It's so damn crazy.
Nothing wrong with life. It's we. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. You know the praise Edwin Booth gave my Othello? I made the manager put down his exact words in writing. Kept it in my wallet for years. I took it out every once in a while to read it. Until finally it made me feel so bad, I couldn't face it anymore. Where is it now, I wonder? It's somewhere in this house, because I remember I put it away. Carefully.
Might be in an old trunk in the attic, along with Mama's wedding dress. Oh, for Pete's sake, if we're gonna play cards, let's play cards, huh?
She's still moving around. God knows when she's going to go to sleep.
For Christ's sake, Papa, just forget it. You just told me some high spots in your memories. You want to hear mine? No. They're all connected with the sea. Here's one. When I was on the square head, square rigger, bound for Buenos Aires, full moon in the trades, the old hooker driving 14 knots. I lay on the bowsprit, facing astern, with the water foaming into spume under me, and the masts with every sail white in the moonlight towering high above me. And I became drunk with the beauty and singing rhythm of it. And for a moment, I lost myself. I actually lost my life. I was set free. I dissolved in the sea. I became white sails and flying spray. I became beauty and rhythm. I became the moonlight in the ship and the high, dim-starred skies. I belonged, without past or future, within peace and unity and a wild joy. Within something greater than my own life, or the life of man, to life itself, to God, if you want to put it that way. And several other times in my life, when I've been swimming far out or lying alone on a beach, I've had the same experience. I became the sun. Hot sand. Green seaweed anchored to a rock swaying in the tide. Like a saint's vision of beatitude. Like the veil of things as they seem, drawn back by an unseen hand. And for a second you see, And seeing the secret, you are the secret. And for a second, there is meaning. And then the hand lets the veil fall. And you are alone. Lost in the fog again. You stumble on towards nowhere for no good reason. It was a great mistake, my being born a man. I would have been much more successful as a seagull or a fish. As it is, I will always be a stranger who never feels at home, does not really want, is not really wanted, can never belong. I must always be a little in love with death.
Yes. You got the makings of a poet in you.
The makings of a poet. No. I'm afraid I'm like the guy who's always panhandling for a smoke. Hasn't even got the makings. He's got only the habit. I couldn't touch what I tried to tell you just now. I just stammered. That's the best I'll ever do. I mean, if I live. Well, it will be faithful realism, at least. See, stammering is the native eloquence of us fog people. Well, that sounds like the absent brother.
That drunken loafer. He caught the last trolley, worse luck. Well, get him to bed, Edmund. I'll go out in the porch. He's got a tongue like an adder when he's drunk. You just make me lose my temper. Right ho! Right ho!
Nix on the loud noise.
Oh, hello, kid. I'm as drunk as a fiddler's bitch.
Thanks for telling me your great secret.
Yes, unnecessary information number one. Whoa. Had a serious accident. Front steps tried to trample on me. Took advantage of fog to waylay me. Ought to be a lighthouse out there. Dark in here, too. What the hell is this? The morgue? Let's have a little light on the subject. Where is the old tightwad?
He's out on the porch.
Can't expect us to live in the black hole of Calcutta. Say, have I got the DTs? My God, it's real. What the hell's the matter with the old man? He must be ossified to have forgot he left this out. Well, grab opportunity by the forelock. Key to my success.
You're stinking now. That'll knock you stiff.
Can the wise stuff, kid. You're still wet behind the ears.
All right. Pass out if you want to.
Can't. There's trouble. Had enough to sink a ship. Can't sink. Well, here's hoping.
Shove over the bottle. I'll have one too.
Well, no, you don't. While I'm around. Remember doctor's orders? Maybe nobody else gives a damn if you live or die, but I do. My kid brother. I love your guts, kid. Everything else is gone. You're all I've got left.
I'll lay off it.
You don't believe I care, huh? Just drunken bull? All right, go ahead. Kill yourself.
Sure, I know you care, Jamie. And I'm going on the wagon. Tonight doesn't count. Too many damn things have happened today. Here's how.
Yeah, you know, it's been a lousy day for you. I bet old Gaspard hasn't tried to keep you off the booze. Probably give you a case to take with you, the State Farm for Pauper Patients. The sooner you kick the bucket, the less expense. Christ. If you put him in a book, nobody'd believe it.
Well, Papa's all right. If you try to understand him and keep your sense of humor.
Oh, they've been pulling the old Sawback on you, eh? They can always fool you, but not me. Never again. Although in a way I do feel sorry for him about one thing. But he has even that coming to him. He's to blame. And the hell with that. Oh, that last drink's getting me. This one ought to put out the lights. Did you tell old Gaspard I got it out of Doc Hardy? This sanatorium's a charity dump?
Yes. Told him I wouldn't go there. It's all settled now. He said I can go anywhere I want. Oh, within reason, of course.
Of course not. Anything within reason.
What did you do uptown tonight? Did you go to Mamie Burns?
Sure thing. Where else could I find suitable feminine companionship? And love. Don't forget love. What is a man without a good woman's love? Goddamn hollow shell.
Oh, you're a nut.
Guess which one of Mamie's charmers I picked to bless me with her woman's love? I'll hand you a laugh, kid. I picked Fat Violet.
Oh, poor Vi. I bet you recited Kipling and Swinburne and Dowson and gave her, I have been faithful to thee, Sinara, in my fashion.
Sure. She studied for a while.
Oh.
Then she got the idea I took her upstairs for a joke. Then she started to cry. So I had to tell her I loved her because she was fat. And she wanted to believe that. So I stayed with her to prove it. And that cheered her up. And she kissed me when I left and said she'd fallen hard for me. We both cried a little more in the hallway and everything was fine. Except Mamie Burns thought I'd gone bughouse.
Harlots and hunted have pleasures of their own to give.
The vulgar herd can never understand. Exactly. Hell of a good time at that. You should have stuck with me, kid. Mamie Burns was inquiring after you. Sorry to hear you were sick. She meant it, too. This night has opened my eyes to a great new career in store for me, my boy. I shall give the art of acting back to the performing seals, and I'll become the lover of the fat woman in the Barnum Bailey circus. Imagine me, sunk to the fat girl in a Hicktown hooker shop. Me, who made some of the best lookers on Broadway sit up and beg.
Can it? You'll be crying in a minute.
Yeah, don't get too damn fresh. Well, you're right. The hell with repining. Fat Violet's a good kid. Glad I stayed with her. Christian act. Cured her blues. Should have stuck with me, kid. Would have taken your mind off your troubles. What's the use in coming home to get the blues over something that can't be helped? It's all over. Finished now. Not a hope. If I were hanged on the highest hill, mother of mine, oh mother of mine, I know whose love would follow me still.
Shut up.
Where's the hophead? Gone to sleep? Dirt bastard! Thanks, kid. I certainly had that coming.
I know you'd never say that. Jesus, Jimmy, no matter how drunk you are, it's no excuse. I'm sorry I hit you.
It's all right. Glad you did. My dirty tongue. Like to cut it out. I suppose it's because I feel so damn sunk. Because this time Mama had me fooled. This time I really believe she had it licked. She thinks I always believe the worst. But this time I believe the best. And so damn much. I've begun to hope that if she'd beaten the game, I couldn't.
God, don't I know how you feel. Stop it, Jamie.
I've known about Mama so much longer than you. Never forget the first time I got wise. Caught her in the act with a hypo. Christ. I never dreamed that any women but a horse took to. And then this stuff you get consumption. It's got me licked. We've been more than brothers. You're the only pal I've ever had. I'd do anything for you.
I know that, Jamie. So come on. Let's have another drink, huh? Easy,
No! Oh, no, I'll have another drink, not you. Gotta take care of you. Listen, kid. You'll be going away. May not get another chance to talk, or I might not be drunk enough to tell you the truth, so I gotta tell you now. That's it. Something I ought to told you a long time ago for your own good. I want to warn you against me. Mama and Papa are right. I've been a rotten, bad influence. And the worst of it is I did it on purpose.
Shut up. I don't want to hear anything.
Next kid, you listen, did it on purpose to make a bum of you. Part of me did. Big part. Part that's been dead for so long that hates life. Might put you wise to things so you learn from my mistakes. Believe that myself at times, but it's a fake. Make my mistakes look good. Made getting drunk romantic. Made horrors fascinating, vampires instead of poor, stupid, diseased slobs they really are. Made fun of work a sucker's game. Never wanted you to succeed and make me look worse, even by comparison. I wanted you to fail. Always jealous of you. Mama's baby, Papa's pet. And it was your being born that started Mama on dope. I know that's not your fault, but all the same, goddamn you, I can't help but hate your guts.
Cut it out, you crazy.
But don't get the wrong idea, kid. I love you more than I hate you. My saying what I'm telling you proves it. I run the risk you'll hate me, and you're all I've got left. I didn't mean to tell you that last stuff. Go that far back. Don't know what made me. What I wanted to say is, I'd like to see you become the greatest success in the world. But you better be on your guard. Because I'll do my damnedest to make you fail. Can't help it. I hate myself. So I gotta take revenge on everyone else, especially you.
Jesus, Jimmy, you really have gone crazy.
Yeah. You think about it, you'll see I'm right. Think about it when you're away from me in the sanatorium. And when you come back, look out for me. Because I'll be there to welcome you with my good old pal stuff and give you the glad hand. And the first good chance I get, I'll stab you in the back.
Shut up! God damn if I'll listen to you.
Well, don't forget me. Remember, I warned you for your own sake. Give me credit. Greater love hath no man than this, that he saveth his brother from himself. That's all. Feel better now. I'm gone to confession. I know you absolved me, don't you, kid? You understand? You're a damn fine kid. Ought to be. I made you. So go and get well. Don't die on me. You're all I've got left. God bless you, kid. Oh, that last drink. The old cake. Oh.
Thank God he's asleep. I thought he'd never stop talking. We better let him stay where he is, sleep it off. I heard the last part of his talk. It's what I warned you. But you mustn't take it too much to heart, lad. He loves to exaggerate his worst side when he's drunk. He's devoted to you. It's the one good thing left in him. Fine spectacle for me. My firstborn, who I hoped would bear my name in honor and dignity, who showed such brilliant promise. A waste, a wreck, a drunken hulk, done with and finished.
Keep quiet, can't you, Papa?
Look in my face. My name is Might Have Been. I am also called No More, Too Late, Farewell.
I'm well aware of it, and God knows I don't want to look at it.
Papa. Jamie, go back to sleep. You shot your mouth off too much already.
Oh, all right, kid. Not looking for argument. Too damn sleepy.
I wish to God she'd go to bed so that I could too. I can't stay up all night like I used to. I'm getting old. Old and finished. I'm dog tired. Can't keep my eyes open. I think I'll grab a few winks. Why don't you do the same thing, Edmund? It'll help pass the time until she...
The mad scene. Enterophilium.
Good boy, Edmund. The dirty blackguard, his own mother.
All right, kid. Well, I told you how much I owed.
I'm going to kick you out into the gutter tomorrow morning. So help me God. Oh, Jamie. For the love of God, Jamie, stop it. Stop, Jamie. Jamie.
I play so badly now. I'm all out of practice. Sister Teresa will give me a dreadful scolding. She'll say it isn't fair to my father when he spends so much money on extra lessons. But she's quite right. It isn't fair. But something horrible has happened to my hands. The fingers have gotten so stiff. Let me see. What did I come here to find? It's terrible how absent
What's that she's carrying, Edmund?
It's a wedding gown, I suppose.
Forgetting. Dreaming.
Oh, Christ.
Dreaming and forgetting. Dreaming and forgetting. Dreaming.
Mary, isn't it bad enough that... You'd better let me take it, dear. You'll only step on it and tear it and get it dirty, dragging it on the floor. And you'd be sorry afterward.
Thank you. You're very kind. It's a wedding gown. It's very lovely, isn't it? I found it in the attic, hidden in a trunk. But I don't know what I wanted it for. I'm going to be a nun. That is, if I can only find... What is it I'm looking for? I know it's something I lost.
Mary?
It's no good, Papa. Let us rise up and part. She will not know.
Something I missed terribly.
Let us go seaward as the great winds go, full of blown sand and foam. What help is here?
Be altogether lost.
There is no help. And all these things are so, and all the world is bitter as a tear.
I need terribly.
Yea, and how these things are,
I remember.
he strove to show.
When I had it,
no.
I was never lonely.
Mama.
I can't have lost it forever. But I would die if I thought that. Because then there would be no hope.
Mama, it isn't a summer cold. I've got consumption.
No. You must not try to hold me. It isn't right when I'm hoping to be a nun.
It's no good, you damn fool.
Yes. We're fools to take notice. But I've never known her to drown herself as deep in it as this. Bring over the bottle. Jamie. And stop reciting that damn morbid poetry. I won't have it in my house.
I had a talk with Mother Elizabeth. She is so sweet and good. A saint on earth. I love her dearly. It may be sinful of me, but I love her better than my own mother. Because she always understands, even before you say a word. All the same, I don't think she was so understanding this time. I told her I wanted to be a nun. I explained how sure I was of my vocation. That I prayed to the Blessed Virgin to make me sure, to find me worthy. I told Mother I had a true vision. That I knew as sure as I knew I was kneeling there that the Blessed Virgin had smiled and blessed me with her consent. Mother Elizabeth said I must be more sure than that, even. I must prove it wasn't simply my imagination. She said if I was so sure, then I wouldn't mind putting myself to a test by going home after I graduated and living as other girls lived. Going to dances and parties and enjoying myself. And then if, after a year or two, I still felt sure I could come back and see her, we would talk it over again. I never dreamed Holy Mother would give me such advice. I was really shocked. I said, of course, I would do whatever she suggested, but I knew it was simply a waste of time. And after I left her, I felt all mixed up, so I went back to the shrine and I prayed to the Blessed Virgin and found peace again. Because I knew she heard my prayer and would always love me and see that no harm ever came to me, so long as I never lost my faith in her. That was in the winter of senior year. Then in the spring, something happened to me. Oh, yes, I remember. I fell in love with James Tyrone and was so happy for a time.